So today was another rough day. So I am working on taking down my protective shields because I know that I have to heal. And if nothing penetrates, I don't feel anything when I do anything. I don't get awareness. I'm like not self-aware. Then I'll never learn. I'll never heal. And that's why I've been like this for 27 years. And so I'm working on tearing down my protective shield, my protective armor, and it has been rough. Today is day 2, and I was so stressed all day at work because I feel everything right now. I feel nervous, anxious, scared. Like my whole body, I felt like I had inflammation. I feel like the environment, the tension, I feel everything. And I could quit this job, but there's probably not a job that's going to hire me. And I don't want to go to another job and take my problems there. And the reason why I've been 27 years with all the same problems is because I've never been aware. Like, I know what I do, but I don't think about it. I don't feel it. I just go forwards. I hurt whoever, I'm rude, whatever, and I don't see that I'm being rude. And because even when I get feedback, it just doesn't penetrate. I hear it, but I don't really hear it because I have all these armor on. And so this is day 2, and I want to heal. I want to change. I don't want to be the same person for another 5 years. I want this year to heal and change the way I am, the way I act. And I've been really letting myself be humbled. And it's like the hardest thing ever. And I don't know, this job is so hostile. And it is so toxic, but it's like I need this type of place that scares me, that like makes me feel all these like emotions, because I feel like the rougher the environment, I am already a rough person, and I feel like I need a really rough environment to start forging me. I don't know how to explain it. It makes sense in my head, but I've never felt this way. Until I started working here, and I've been humbled so much, like just by my thoughts, and like realizing that I'm scared. I am a scared person, and so I'm staying at this job, even though for the past 2 days I came home crying. I've been stressed the whole day at the job, and just like anxious, like, oh my gosh, are they gonna fight me? But I need it because a week ago I would just sit there and be rude and glare and not care because I didn't feel anything. And now I feel it. And I feel like I have to sit there and feel it and become aware and just really think through everything I'm doing, and just get as much insight. Because once I'm ready to change, I will change. I'm not going to try to force it because I've done that too many times. It just doesn't stick. So right now, I'm just getting insight and taking down my armor and stand there feeling anxious, feeling insecure and all that. And I just force myself to do that. Also, I am working on shadow work, which I did it in the beginning, but this is really, really, really more intense. So I didn't know that my shadow was like a whole nother person. And my shadow is so vast, and I have so much trauma in my shadow. And so like the shadow is pretty much everything that you suppressed. Maybe things you're not proud of, maybe things that you weren't allowed to, like vulnerability, and you weren't allowed to show it, so you suppressed it. And so for me, I am built, my character is on surviving, on being dominant, on winning conflict. I'm not built for thriving and flourishing. So my personality is the way I am is very sharp and intense. And so I'm I really want to change that because I want to thrive. And so I'm working on shadow work, and I'm seeing all these parts that I hid. I'm feeling them at work. I feel bad anxiety. Like I feel anxiety, like social anxiety. But today I was feeling anxiety. Someone looked at me and my mind was like, this and this and this and this. And then I was like, and then I got scared. So I'm like, my things I suppressed to survive was anxious. I'm a very anxious person. I'm a very scared person. I don't look like it because I suppressed it, but I'm scared of everything. I'm scared of everything. I have so much shame. I feel like my skin, not my skin color, but just my skin, my aura is like damns me. Like I am damned to hell. That's how much shame I have. Like I don't think I am ever gonna, like deep down, I don't think that good comes my way. I don't think I deserve goodness just because of just existing, not even doing something. But I have so much shame. I'm scared of everything. I am so anxious. I am so insecure. Just this guy I like, I don't like him, but I like the attention he gives me. And he's got his girlfriend. They're having sex. He's booed up and completely like is done. Like I don't even talk to him, but I like him staring at my body. And I literally was so insecure, and like, his girl is really cute, and she's like 18, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm ugly, and no one's ever gonna love me like that. And like I kind of resent, like, not them, but like how committed he is, because I'm like, no one's gonna be committed to me like that. And so like I'm super insecure. I think I'm so like hideous. In this state, this calm, relaxed state, I think I'm pretty, but this is not how I show up. But I'm so jealous. I didn't know that. Perverse. And one of the things that really scared me is like cruel. Like I am a very cruel person, and I don't act on it because I don't want to get in trouble with the law and stuff like that. But I have the capacity for so much cruelty. Like in my head, I'm starting to like bring all my shadows, all my, unconscious personality shadows forward, making them conscious. And like I feel my cruelty, and I'm like getting all these like, fantasies. And it's like they're like this one girl, like I don't know, I just feel like just being a bitch, and I just like scratch her face, and it's like so graphic where you can just scratch it and you can see like the skin open, and I feel like that kind of hunger, like just keep going. So I scratch her face, and then I just keep slapping her, and it's like an innocent girl in my head, and I'm just slapping her, but in my body I feel the hunger, like I want, like keep doing it. And obviously I don't act on that because I don't, and I've never been like that, but it's just like I have the capacity. If I was able to do stuff and get away with it, I would do that. And I never knew that about myself. And so that's one thing that was so shocking. And this is just for the past 2-3 days that I'm learning about myself, but I know there's so much like hidden stuff that like just from childhood that I just hid. I have so much grief from the way I was raised, uncared for, unloved. I turned out like this, a soldier that can't live, can't thrive. All I can do is defend. And I have so much grief because no one took the time invested into me. And so I became this. And I really, really, if I was in a position of power, would be such a monster, because deep down, like, well, now it's coming forward, but I don't care about anyone's feelings. I just don't care. And I know I'm rude, but deep down, like in my shadow, I am a mean person. But being a mean person, I don't know, I suppressed it so much that I still don't fully believe that I'm mean, even though I see the stuff I do. And I know I don't care about people's feeling. If I say something hurtful, it doesn't bother me. I'll just go do my own thing. But it's like, I can't convince myself that I'm a mean person because I suppressed it so much. And so there's so much stuff that is in my shadow under the surface that's been ruling my life. And I have to bring everything to the surface and integrate and work on it. And this is where change starts. And so it's really uncomfortable. And I can't even get to the shadow and all this stuff unless I have my protective armor down. And when I have my protective armor down, I feel vulnerable. I feel like I feel nervous, anxious, like 4 or 5 different emotions in a second. And at work, it's such a toxic environment. I've been there almost a year, and I never cared. Like, it just didn't faze me. Like, this girl's gonna fight me, okay, with like I don't never been in like many fights, but I'm just like, I might lose, I might win, let's do it. Like, I just didn't feel anything. And now I'm like, I gotta keep like the persona, so I'm like, yeah, but inside now I'm like, it burns in like the pit of my stomach. There's this one girl, her name is Gabby, and she's 41 and like still acts like I do. And like, she's actually like example, even though she hates me. But she is like, I want to heal, or I will be that when I'm 41. And I don't even want to be this, when I'm 28. So it's like, she's really like my role model, like, heal, or you're going to be 41 like that forever. And so, and I don't feel like that was nice to say, but this freaking protective armor dropping, and I'm like worrying about people's feelings or whatever. But she hates me. Like, she always like, glaring at me, and I just ignore it because I don't want to like do like I don't know. I just ignore her. But now that my protective, and she's always talking crap about me, like, and loud enough so I can hear it, and I just never cared. But it's like, now that my protective shields are coming down, like, it freaks me out. Like today, she was like trying to like, claim dominance, like lean on like my desk partition, like we have a partition between us, and she'll lean on it and put her foot on it. And like, she wore her bonnet, took her weave out today because I think she's gonna fight me or something like that. But and we were right next to each other, and before that literally never fazed me. Like, I'm like, okay, let's do it. But it's like the last 2 days I'm like, are we gonna fight? Like, I won't even like make eye contact. Well, I never did before because I just didn't have the energy to, but now it's just like, I'm scared. Like, if I make eye contact, does that mean we're fighting, And so like, I am like freaked out now, and it's like, I don't have like the protective shell anymore. But also, and it's crazy, it's scary that I was like operating like that for so long. It was built to survive, not to thrive. And so with that protective mode, I'm so strong, I am so resilient, but I don't thrive. I get fired. I quit jobs. I'm job to job, month to month. I can't keep relationships because I don't care about other people's feelings. I don't care what I say. I care about myself. And I don't really, I have awareness, but I don't feel anything towards it. I can't change yet because I'm just not ready to change. And so it's hard, but I know that the life that's meant for me, I just know it's going to be, it's amazing. I know I'm going to have good responsibility, big responsibilities. And I know that I'm going to have in a huge position of power. And I cannot believe, I don't know, everything just is like falling into place perfectly, because it's like, I am like, for 8 years unstable, just moving around, and then randomly I'm like start this somatic healing journey. I'm going through all of this healing for a year, breakdowns, and then now I'm like working on my shadow self, my personality, because I'm like, just randomly I'm like, in order to have that life that I want, I have to become that person that can hold that life. and just randomly. And then I saw the stuff about The Alchemist, and I started, with Carl Jung, and then Stoicism, being able to, Marcus Aurelius, he was able to hold so much power and he never changed. And I don't know, it all fits together, and it's just like, I could never, and I even told, like before, I'm like, I could never be rich. I could never be stable because I would have never changed. I have to be this uncomfortable at a job where I am scared that I'm gonna get beat up if I look at this girl that's trying to fight me. Like, I have to be at a rough place like this in order to have this much change. And I'm a rough person. I need that. And but it's like, if I was given the life that I know I'm gonna have before I did any of this change, like The Alchemist, I would never be able to hold it. I would have been, I'm realizing, like, my shadow, I have like the capacity for so much cruelty. And like, I felt like such like a hunger, such a like whatever, to like just be cruel. And like, imagine if I had power and I was in a position of power and I was like that to someone. Like, that would be just crazy. I would be unstoppable. Like, nowadays you have lawyers and like stuff like that. Like, there's no way that I would be able to do that, like being that position of power and feel this way ever. Because I need discomfort to change. And that is why, like, this job is such a toxic job, but it's like forging me. It's melting all my armor, and I need it. And I hope I don't get fired. If I do get fired, I mean, I already know that the job, it's, I'm coming on my last legs. They're gonna, they're not gonna put up with me for too much longer. And it's black people, so they put up with me for a year, almost a year. June will be a year, so they put up with me for a year already, and no job has ever done a year. I've never been in a job for a year. This is the first job. I usually have like three or four W-2s, but I think this will be like my one and only chance to get as much healing and get as humbled. I pray that I don't get any fights and no one pulls my wig, because I don't need that type of humbling, because I'm already humbling myself and doing the work and putting myself in those environments. I want to call it every day, which I can. They don't care. You can miss it. It's black people. You can miss it for a week as long as you make up your hours. They're fine. So, but I force myself to go there because I need to just keep on like burning down my armor. And I don't want to be cruel. I don't want to have shame like I do. I don't want to be insecure. I want to be confident and have inner peace and I don't want to be extroverted and have a lot of friends, but I want to be friendly and have good manners and not be rude and walk past people, which I do this right now and I don't care, but I'm not ready to change. If I, now force myself to it won't stick because I'm forcing myself to do it. I want to do it because I don't want to be rude anymore. I don't want people to feel some type of way about me. And so I don't have that many feelings right now. But like any of those type of feelings, I can feel now what's inside of me, but I can't feel or care about like what I do to people, or like care, like, I don't know, feel guilt or remorse. I still don't feel that yet. But I am forging myself, bringing all of my shadows to the front and really, really working, because I want this job. Hopefully I'm going to stay there as long as I can, because it's a lenient job, but I just want to just forge myself as much as I can and get and heal and change as much as I can, or not change, but get as much insight. So then when I'm ready to change, like it'll be a smooth transition. And so I know that I'm meant for amazing life with a lot of responsibility. But this person will never receive those responsibilities. If I don't change, then I won't get it. I'll miss it and it'll go to someone else. If I take another 5 years, then I won't get that life for another 7 or 8 years, you know? And like, this makes sense in my head, but I don't think it makes sense like to anyone else. But I just have to do it. And I will cry every day after work. And force myself to do it again the next day. And so, but I'm proud of myself for, I mean, I don't have any choice. No other job wants me. I've never been a job for more than a year because of the way I am. And I don't have a choice. But I know this is meant for me. And I already know exactly what I'm gonna do when I first get money. I'm getting surgery. I'm fixing my insecurities. But I will be able to handle having a face with no insecurities. I won't be, you know, I'll be, which I'm working on it through stoicism and all this other stuff, but it won't consume me not having insecurities and like, you know, acting like I'm all that. And like, you know, people that work pretty and then they become pretty and they're like, she's never been pretty before. She does not know how to handle being pretty, or, you know, I don't know, but I will, because I'm not going to do it until I know that I can handle it, until I do all this mental health work. But also there's this guy I work with, Jonah Muniak, Muniak or something like that. He's so hot. I shouldn't have said the last name like that, but then I kind of did. He is hot. I stalk his page and then block him. Look, oh, I forgot to do that yesterday. But I'm like, I think he's like my next victim. My limerence victim. I'm kind of almost over Keandre, but it's like once I get over one, I start with a new one. And so like the You movie is 100% like, I am so unstable. And also I am very unstable. Not violent, because I was in freeze shutdown mode my whole life, so I never was violent. But I was always unstable in the way I'm like in my mind, like the way I'm like, I don't know how to explain it. But I don't know. I'll probably cry myself to sleep. I mean, I cried all night tonight, a little bit, and then I ran and cried a little bit. I'm just like, I'm trying to get all the stress out of my body so I can sleep good tonight, so that I can turn around and stress myself again. But I'm very thankful for God for the controlled chaos that He's giving me. I have rent, you know, I'm month to month, but I still have my rent covered. My car, I've not been in a car accident. I have my car, and I have a job, and those are three things that I have that are shaky, but I still have. And then I can live, and then everything else is just chaos. But it's controlled chaos, because it's like, if I was homeless and didn't have a car and didn't have a job, there's no way I could even slowly work on myself like I am now. So I am thankful that even though I'm a bitch and no one likes me and I roll my eyes at everyone and glare at everyone, even the supervisors, I haven't been fired. And I'm a terrible driver and I haven't gotten in a car accident. And I am always 3 or 4 days late on rent, but eventually I get my rent money, so I'm very thankful for that. Also, I'm thankful for my resilience. But I don't know, I just know I have good things in store, and I just know that I have to just keep working on myself, keep pushing myself through, you know, forging myself, because this is the only way is through. And so